Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. Those who follow Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on YouTube, those who follow Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook, and those who follow AbeCS895 short reel TikToks. Hope everybody's doing a great tonight. I'm fixing to bring my other dog inside since he's barking a lot in a few. I'm more sure y'all probably hear that in the background. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing great. I'm gonna share. Oh, first of all, let me send a link to my cousin, Jesus Carvajal. Let's see, I can find him real quick. How you doing, Brian Griffin? Hope you're doing good. I was fixing to share this to, I guess, to some of the groups I'm affiliated on YouTube. On Facebook. How you doing, brother Exuberance? I hope you're doing great. I hope everybody's doing good. Uh, I sent a link to cousin Jesse. See if he shows up tonight. I just got to share this with the groups on Facebook. Oh yes, I got me a good night's rest. I'm sorry about last night, man. I was really tired yesterday while I was doing the live. Uh, I couldn't keep my eyes uh awake, but it's crazy because I slept for a little bit and then I just woke up. I only slept for about a couple of hours and I was right back up. I guess it must be the moon that was out last night. The energy of that moon was pretty strong. I'm just waiting on cousin Jesse. See if he shows up tonight. There he is. How you doing, Primo? How you
Hello, primo. ¿Cómo estás?
all right.
Hello to everyone that's already here. Sorry I'm late, but I had to have a meeting with the president and discuss future politics. Hello, Rio MMA. ¿Cómo estás, vato? Exuberance, how you doing, my friend? Brian Griffin. It's peanut butter jelly time, Brian Griffin.
I'm sharing to a couple of groups, primo.
Okay, okay. What's up? You, my man, how you doing, man? I gotta put my headphones on, cousin, before we start getting all this feedback.
All right.
Alrighty then, here we go. Gotta pop the top on this soda. Ooh, yummy. That's the one. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope y'all enjoyed your Friday. What's the 411 with President Jesse? I promise a $20 sack in every house. What's up, Bolt Gun? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, man, I'm using it to stay awake, real MMA, because I've been falling short these past couple of days, man. I need the sugar rush to stay up. Hello, Annette. How you doing? Welcome to the show. El Smurfy, ¿qué tranza, vato loco?
I just shared to where I wanted to share. Let me catch up to the comments. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing great. Yeah, again, I would like to apologize for last night. I was running on empty, man. Had no energy. I was tired.
I feel like that right now, Primo. I was doing a lift with cousin Gilbert all day today. That's why
You
I'm
was,
drinking
you was
the
what?
soda. We're doing lift, kind of like what's the other company where you pick up people up and give them a ride?
Uber?
Yeah, but this is called Lyft. It's a different company. We were riding around all over Fort Worth, man. I
Seen
got
the
car
titles,
lag.
the title I got up there, Primo.
I
Soul
can't see it.
Takers, Reapers, Hellhounds, the Hatman.
Wow.
Check out the
Oh,
shirt.
not that's a kick-ass shirt, Primo. I like it.
I think every Friday night I'm gonna put on a good scary shirt for before Halloween. So
So these are
keep
shirts
that shirt ready.
to welcome back Count Cias.
Yeah, you see the shirt? It's
It's
pretty
nice,
bad.
man. It's badass shirt. I like it.
But see, I can get a close up on it, man. See if people can see it.
Nice. I mean, nice. That's a kick-ass shirt, Primo.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's been one of those days, man. You seen what happened last night. I was tired, then I went to sleep for a little bit. I didn't make it farther than the couch, man. I was out. It's
Wow.
because I hadn't been sleeping right, man. I hadn't been sleeping right for about 2, 3 days, and it finally caught up to me. When you're not getting enough rest, your brain's gonna shut down on you, whether
Yep.
you like it or not. Thank you, brother Exuberance. Here to share one more time. I'll show it off to the members. I think for the shirts that I'm going to wear for the rest of the month on a Friday, it'll be to the topic of what we're going to speaking about. So tonight is about soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, or anything that's in the form of a soul collector. You know, and it's an open mic night. You can throw a succubus, incubus, um,
No,
believe like a Wendigo is kind of like a form of a soul collector because they'll come for the person. Am I right, cousin?
Yes, sir. That's
Yep.
completely right. Just please don't put succubus and huggibus in the same sentence because it will appear.
So, what
Hey,
other
President Parker,
uh,
welcome.
there's so many, right, that are kind of like that, man. The Llorona is kind of like a soul taker also,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
because she goes for the spirits of unbaptized
The
kids.
unbaptized babies.
Another thing, like a soul collector, soul takers. You know, you just remember that what we're talking about right now. Would be the deer woman. The deer woman goes after men that are being unfaithful, and she's going when she's going for them. She's not going to go talk to them. She's literally going to comes for their to kill them or to collect their soul. Uh, so many things in nature. You know, when the witches and warlocks or the dark brujas make deals with the demons, they have a demon soul taker that comes to collect the soul. Whoever they made the deal with comes for them, you know. And we could say numerous other things in this nature. What other ones that you know of, Primo? Well, I know you had the story of the spirits of the woods.
Yeah, that
That
one.
happened.
Welcome, Cynthia.
I don't want to. Well, I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there right now, so we just stick to the topics right now, and we can talk about everything else. I got all night long. How about you?
I got some of the night long, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. But I'll give you what I got. But
It's all
yeah,
right. It's open mic night
the
tonight.
the spirit
Open
of the
mic
woods,
night tonight.
but you have to make a contract with it by blood for it to help you. And anytime that you fall short on whatever you promised it, it'll come for you and your soul. But that's like a, what do you call those? A spirit, and it manifests into what's going on, Jolando. It manifests into a thing that looks like a tree. It's got really skinny limbs, man. It looks like a tree. It's if you're standing by it and don't look up, you think it's a tree, but it's not a tree, man. It'll have a face. But yeah, it will come for souls. It does take blood sacrifice too.
So I'm wearing this shirt today, man. It's a get a little angle. Skin. Uh, yeah. There's so many things, man. Where you dabble with something and things happen, man. I've heard where people do rituals and if the offering ain't right or whatever they're trying to do with the ritual is not perfect, uh, they get killed by the demon
Hmm. Hmm.
or and things of that nature. You know, the cults.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday to your son, cousin.
Oh, thank you, primo.
The Real
Yeah,
MMA saw it on Facebook as well.
yeah. He turned 23, man. Yeah, he done left me behind. He's way taller than me. He's like 6 foot, 6 foot, 6 foot one, 6 foot two, somewhere around there. Tall, junior.
Cause he got a lot of ink too, man.
Yeah, yeah. You get a chest piece all the way down. Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's a dragon. A it's got the thing of the Bruce Lee saying with the water, the saying of the water, like a tattoo of it also. What was the saying Bruce Lee would say?
Be like water.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it said. I had
Be
gone
like
to
water.
a an estate sale one time, and I went up to the attic, and there was this box, and there was a picture frame in the box. When I pulled it out, Well, it was a poster. When I pull it out, uh, it was Bruce Lee, man.
Oh wow.
So I kept that poster and I framed it. It looks good, man. It's an old
Cynthia,
poster too.
Cynthia says happy birthday to your son, Abe.
Thank you, sister, and that was Angel. It was well. That's not X. That's my son, Abe Junior. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, anything dealing with collecting of souls.
You mean like
Uh,
the hellhound that chased me up into a tree?
yeah. Well, what do you want to start it about? What you want to talk about the let's take a poll. I mean, there's open mic night too. If anybody wants to share a story of anything, these allergies are getting me, man.
Yeah, no, man. My throat is closing. Yep, be like water.
Be like water, yeah, yeah. Be like water.
Hmm. Water can flow or it can crash. uh, so,
Thank you, sister Cynthia. Yeah, that's gonna be that's my next of kin right there. I tell them if something ever happens to me, you ever want to hear my voice, go to YouTube. You're gonna see my channel there. I got all my wisdom and knowledge there on YouTube. Uh, in
anybody
saying
want
that,
to jump on and share a story to deal with tonight's topic?
well, I think we could share some stories, and then if people want to jump on later, later on,
Okay, cousin.
uh, you know, uh, since we're talking about hellhounds, uh, wait, let me do something real quick. I always forget, man. This month, cousin, I gotta pay homage to my mother.
Yes, sir.
It's just, so I'm gonna change my profile picture real quick before I
Welcome,
continue.
Morgan. How you doing? Welcome to the show. She wants to know what the poll is.
Was that cousin? The Pope or what?
Morgan wants to know what the poll is. You said you were going to take a poll on what we're going to talk about.
Right now we're just talking about the topics that are on there right now. Let me try to do this real quick before I continue.
So how is everybody's Friday night going?
My phone's acting weird, man.
Hello, Lawrence Morgan. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. Welcome to Spiritual Encrypted Encounters.
That's crazy, man. I was trying to place a picture of my mother, and it's not letting me. Like it says,
No, no, Lawrence. We just started. It's not letting you change your pictures. What the hell?
it's I don't know, man. It's just acting weird.
Welcome, Lion of Judah. How you doing? How do you find out about the deer woman? Lion of Judah
Let,
wants to
let, me,
know how he finds out.
let me catch up, brother. So sorry about that. I was just paying homage to my mother. Uh, anniversary. Well, it's gonna when they pass away, right? You have to pay the respects, primo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I placed a picture on my profile just now.
Yes, Cynthia, I know you've had a blessed day and you had one long time coming. So congratulations on your blessed day. May you have more and may God bless you with more blessed days. I think I just saw tech support walk behind you, cousin.
Was that?
I thought I saw tech support walk behind you.
Yes, my wife.
Oh, I thought it was X.
No, well, it might have been X also. Uh, not the Satan, but backwards. So you did that with the Ouija board, or was a little bit more things going on involved there? I think it's going to appear just out of a Ouija board like that. Unless you had a you was doing other things besides that.
You're very welcome,
You
Sin.
did you summon it, Brian Griffin? I mean, demons do come out and possess people if they have a spiritual opening. Yeah, here we go. Shadow figures in the background through holy water. Adam. No, it was in shadow figures. It was people. That's about since you're talking about shadow figures, I do have a show reel where a shadow figure passes right in front of me while I'm doing a live in my room. You get it was is had the light on and everything and passed right in front of me while I'm sitting down. You just passed right in front of me. Or you gotta say in front of me, through me, however you want to call it.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Tonight is about soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, the Hatman, anything dealing with things that collect souls. Did somebody ask a question about the deer woman?
yeah, they wanted to know how to look up the deer woman. Let me see. Let me go back.
How to what?
Hold on. Let me go back. How does he find out about the deer woman? It was Lion of Judah who asked.
There you go. There's the
Yeah,
reels
thank you for
of the
sharing the
shadow
slow
figure.
reel, X.
There's a regular show reel, which says dark shadow spirit, and there's a one slow one that'll lower the speed so you can see y'all can see it. Yes, we summoned it after a while. I became possessed most of my life and did naughty things. I sacrificed my first child as an offering to Satan. I don't know, man. Brian Griffin. I don't know. Have you seen Brian Griffin before?
Yeah, he's been in here before, man. He's been in here a lot before.
How'd you sacrifice your son, bro?
Welcome, Lady in Red.
Sorry. My wife worked all day today. She was tired. She bought me a little meal, so I'm gonna be doing the live while you know
Eating your supper.
we talk. Brian Griffin, what's up with your son, man?
Please
How old is your
explain how
son?
you Please explain how you sacrificed your son, please. Welcome,
Uh,
Ivy Ramirez.
man, so you jumping around. You went from a Ouija board. So that's what I was saying. The Ouija board had nothing to do with you supposedly summoning the Lucifer and all this. I don't even know if it was the story that you're saying is legit, man.
Hello, Lady
You jumped
Red. How you
around
doing? To
from the Ouija
sacrifice
board,
him.
and I know that and the Ouija board is not gonna summon no demon with hellhounds. I believe you were, like you said, you was into witchcraft, I guess, doing other things.
There it is.
Here we
Oh wow. Welcome, Michelle Delaney. How you doing?
Well, I mean, it is an abortion is an abortion, but blood sacrifices when is alive, man. There is it is kind of like a sacrifice abortion because it's against God, which there's been millions and millions. But I thought you were talking about something else.
He says the Ouija board is used to contract spirits. Then you can communicate with them. Possessions happens a lot from Ouija boards.
Oh yeah, possessions happen a lot, but not that Satan and hellhounds are going to appear out of nowhere. For that you have to be doing other things, blood sacrifices, like summoning things through witchcraft, cult like things. Sorry about that. I'm meeting brothers and sisters. Would you like to jump on so you can share your story, Brian Griffin? I'm talking about soul takers, reapers, and hellhounds. That's what we're talking about. Normally, when somebody has an abortion, is because they don't want to go through the pregnancy. So it's a two-way street for the people in the relationship, for the female and the guy. Yeah, but there's got to be certain rituals you got to do to summon something up. I mean, things are gonna be happening because they're runners in spirit and they're unseen. So, what do you think about that, Primo? Uh, would that be It's not literally but
Well,
it is act against God when you do like abortions and stuff. What
yeah,
do you
it
think
is.
about that?
It is a murder, man. It is. God looks down on that, man, because you're sacrificing to something that doesn't even belong to you. But I believe if you leave yourself open to getting possessed by a Ouija board, then it can happen. But that's totally up to the individual who is trying to gain some kind of influence with the demon.
Or to the spiritual openings that they have, he was summoning. I mean, he said that he was into witchcraft or he was a devil worshiper and stuff.
He says that his last name means dragon. It's a bloodline curse.
Uh, I don't know. Griffin?
Mm-hmm. But like I
You
said, man, it
do
just
doing an abortion or getting an abortion, that's something y'all did because you wanted to do it. The only one that didn't have a say so in it was a unborn child.
that's bordering on necromancy, ain't it? Tarot cards.
We're talking about soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, soul collectors. That's what the topic is tonight. But all those things are spiritual openings. The tarot card
Yes.
readers, when they open up to feel the spirits that are around them, they're opening themselves up to all the spirits. So those individuals sometimes they get spiritually attacked all the time because they're opened up to it. Yeah, I think that's who this is. The succubus.
Succubus, succubus.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna focus on his demons, on his dragons, or whatever emotional problems he got.
We need to stick to the topic, please.
So, but you want to talk about soul takers? What about the people that are living in sin and know they're living in sin, like the rainbow people, the people from Sodom and Gomorrah, right? The ones
Welcome,
that
Joe
are
Burgess.
living in sin. What about those individuals? They don't even need a soul taker, or a reaper, or a hellhound to come after them because their fate is already sealed because they involuntarily are doing it to themselves. What do you think about that, Primo?
Well, that's a lot to take in, cousin. But yeah, they're
I
really
mean,
doing
that
it to themselves.
the soul taker and reaper, all those are not going to come after them because they already, you know, they have no control over themselves.
Yep, yep. And their fate has been sealed already, so they don't have to bother with that because eventually they already know where they're going.
Yep. I know it might be a little bit off a topic, but it's crazy when the soul taker, the reaper, or the hellhound don't even come after you because you're not even worth it
They already know
anymore.
you're effed up already, man.
So, you've heard of a female when they have a miscarriage. What did you think about that, Primo?
Well, I don't think God looks down on that because it was something out of the mother's control. If the baby is born already dead, but I bet you the
What
mother
about the
goes through
ones
a lot of grief.
there's people that when they don't want to have a baby, they be doing cartwheels and taking pills and doing things so they can abort. Have you heard those things happen? Is those
Yeah,
be considered like a blood sacrifice?
well, that could be, man, because like they're doing everything they can to get rid of the unborn fetus, man. But yeah, that's really weird, man. I've heard of a couple of cases where you know that. pregnant woman went and got somebody to kick him in the stomach just to abort. Welcome, Tej Cooley. Yes, yes, with Lilith. Yes.
Yeah, there's another one. Tell them about Lilith, Primo.
You know, Lilith eats unbaptized children.
No,
That's
but
you want the story of Lilith?
yeah,
How
tell them the story of Lilith.
how she escaped from the Garden of Eden because she refused to be subservient to Adam. So she called on the name of the Lord and flew away from the Garden of Eden. Wound up being the bride of Lucifer. Became the mother of all monsters, and God sent angels to bring her back, but she refused. So He sent angels to kill 100 of her children a day for every day that she didn't come back. So she became the first harpy and would eat unbaptized children, and she would eat the babies in the womb of the pregnant ladies. So yeah, that's the story of Lilith. Thank you, Sage Cooley. The in the olden times, man, people would make amulets of an owl, and they would put them on the newborn babies and on the stomach of the pregnant mothers to keep Lilith away. She became the first harpy. That was her monster. That was her monster form. She also married Cain and had children with Cain, which were the Canaanites. Oh wow, Brian, you've been busy. You were busy, man. You got cursed. Wow.
I mean, if you're denouncing God, if you're denouncing God, then what do you expect to be there? If you're not believing in Jesus Christ, it's not a curse. Is that if you're getting God or Jesus Christ out of the equation, then you basically have given up in life and you're allowing these demons to have an influence in your life. If you think that they give you some kind of power or something, they're not giving you no power. They're making you do their will or influence you in a negative way.
I agree, Brian
I don't
Griffin.
think
Provoking
it's
spirits
not
is
a
not a
curse.
good idea.
It's what you allow. It's what you allow in your life. That's what it is. If you're allowing it, and of course, these things are going to
Mm.
be afflicted on it because you're allowing it. You're opening up yourself to it.
No, Lady in Red, Lilith is not Adam's sister. Lilith was Adam's first wife that was born with him, made from the clay. She was made from the dirt like Adam, and Eve was born from Adam's rib. So Lilith was Adam's first wife.
She didn't want to be equal to Adam. That's why she left the Garden of Eve. She wanted to be as equal as Adam. But you said that you believe that Lucifer might have slept with Lilith, no?
Yeah,
Primo?
she was she had children with Lucifer, man, before she married Cain.
So yeah, for those who think that you have power over people or thinking it's in your family tree or this, that's why this unseen forces or demonic demons go from generation to generation because nobody makes a spiritual stance against it. So if you're thinking you're cursed, and that's what your parents taught you, or those before them taught your parents that you're cursed in some kind of way, and you're believing in it, well, there ain't nothing positive that's going to come out of that the belief that you're cursed.
So instead
Uh,
of looking through the Hebrew teaching, Lady in Red, why don't you just look at the Book of Lilith? They have a book about it.
I'm just being honest, man. It's what you allow in your heart. If certain things will happen to you, do something about it. Make a spiritual stance against it. Uh, there's really nothing that is fallen that really has any jurisdiction over us, not unless uh, you open yourself up to it. Uh, like Griffin is talking about. If that's what you're worshiping, that's what you're believing in, then you're opening yourself up to that. I don't believe in that. I don't believe any other individuals here uh, can do anything against me spiritually because I'm attending a Heavenly Love Foundation and I place Jesus Christ first.
You're
There's nobody
welcome,
that
Lady
can
in
do
Red.
anything here spiritually or physically because my faith is with Jesus Christ.
Yes, it
And
was
this is
removed from the Bible.
just the God honest truth. If you know, that's why in the cryptic community, the paranormal community, like the topic is supposed to be about soul takers, reapers, and hellhounds, and I'm seeing the comments that are here. It's what you open up yourself to, man. You know, if you're straight as an arrow, and all of a sudden somebody's trying to convince you you belong in the rainbow community, and you start hanging around with the rainbow community, and you start living in sin, and certain things start happening to you, is because you open up to it in many ways, but it's because you opened up to it. You let people influence you to go that route. It's a personal choice. And of
Amen,
course, there's
sister.
some people that they're living in that kind of sin that they're open to it because they're bonded, spiritually bonded by this unseen forces. When we talk about generational curses, that's what they do. Demons. They've afflicted so many people throughout the centuries in that manner. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a personal choice. That's right. It's never too late to repent and ask God for forgiveness for your sins. That's what I try to tell the huggable succubus, that there's still hope for him. Instead of living in sin, doing the acts that are against God, cursing himself, and I don't think there'll be a next of kin of his because if he's a homosexual or gay, his there's not going to be no next of kin because it stops with him, right? But it's never too late to ask God for forgiveness and repent for your sins. Not unless it's his personal choice of how he wants to live or whatever. Well, that's his personal choice, but I don't have to hear about it or anybody has to hear about it.
And nobody's gonna
Uh,
meet him in the woods.
you know, it's not like you're gonna get a golden star for me, but by confessing your sins to me. It's nothing dealing with me. The situation you put yourself into is dealing with between you and Jesus Christ because you have
Amen,
to go through
sister.
him. We all got to go through him, every
Welcome
single
you.
one of us, and we will be judged accordingly to all the acts we've done here on earth. But he's the only way. Jesus Christ is the only way to make it into the kingdom of heaven. How you doing, Eve Bear? Hope you're doing good. I like to be straight up here, brother and sisters here at Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I'm not gonna BS somebody. I'm not gonna. I'm not. If you're on the wrong path, I'm not gonna share you on. I'm gonna talk to you straight up. And some people don't like people to be straight up. I'm one of those people that I'm like I'm a genuine person, but a true friend is going to try to get you on the right path compared to somebody that's trying to influence you to continue to be on the path that they're on. A true friend is going to tell you the truth. And another person is like, don't worry about that, dude. Just take another hit, take another hit, take another hit. That's how demons are, like a bad influence. Take another hit, do this, do that. That's what demons do. That's how they keep you bonded. We got Rebel here, him in the background right here.
I see his eyes.
Let me read some of the comments here. Folklore Lila 2 goes back to Samaria. Don't believe Lilith was Adam's first wife. I don't know, man. About about no Lilo Tutu. But there is stories of this owl amulets that they'll put on there. What would they put them? Right, to protect the child from Lilith. Lechusa. She was a lechusa. That's a manifestation she manifested too. What other things besides Lilith manifested? The woman that slept with the Watchers. They they changed form into beastly beings, into harpies and sirens. That's what they manifested to. But I rather speak to you in truth than BS you, man. See, when the way demon works, or like the soul takers, reapers, and hellhounds, you could say they're like a repo company. We'll just put it that way. They're repo. They're not repo. They're just gonna come collect your vehicle. They're repo because of a deal you made. That when they show up knocking on your door, is because they're there for one reason and reason is only. It's because of the deal you made with it. So it's there to collect your soul.
Welcome under fire.
What kind of people, Primo, would it come and collect a soul for? Is it people that como witches, warlocks, mute?
Witches, warlocks, people that speak to the dead because they already forfeited their souls for in exchange for what they think is power to commune with spirits. Uh, Basically, people like that, people that sell their soul, and then when their time is up, they have to complete the contract. So the soul takers come for has been offered. They come for the payment.
And this people here are evil people, very evil people, because while they were here in the flesh, in human form, the deal was already made. So their whole mission in life is to cause chaos and havoc upon people. There's no good bone in them anymore. Even though they might smile, they might say hi to you. Their heart is pure evil because they've sold their soul for witchcraft and necromancy. So they're pure evil. It could be your great grandmother, it could be your grandmother, your grandfather. You know,
I'll be back.
when people talk about generation from generation, is pure evil people, in which they've literally sold their soul. So when the soul taker or soul collector, hellhounds, reapers, whatever manifestation they want to take to come and collect the soul, they're going to show up and they're going to let them know straight up, your time is up. So what do they do? What do these people do when the time is up? In order for them to buy more time, they'll tell the soul taker, right, or the demon collector, the demon that comes collect your soul, tells them they want to buy more time. Uh, so the only way they can buy more time, brothers and sisters, is if they send that soul taker, demon, or reaper to one of their family members, one of the blood of their bloodline. Even though the individuals don't know what the hell's going on, that's what they do. It could be a son, a daughter, a granddaughter, grandson, you know, that they'll send the demon to go and attack those people spiritually and afflict them. Sometimes there's possessions. Sometimes there's people. Some of those next of kin die. It becomes one of those things that people are like, "Why is this happening to me?" But the person that has made the contract, they know exactly what's happening because uh they're infiltrating. Like, oh, that's just a grandmother. That's a great great grandmother. That's a grandfather. But they know what's going on. But that's when everybody's got to make a spiritual stance and and fight spiritually through Jesus Christ. Whatever deal somebody has, even if it's a person within the family, that's their personal choice, right? So their fate should be sealed with them, right? You shouldn't be sealed with anybody else but them. And that's what people need to realize, that what happens in your life is what you allow to affect you. So you can make a spiritual stance from somebody like that is trying to send somebody your way because they're dabbling in something. How? By not accepting it, always maintaining our foundation, forgiveness, and placing Jesus Christ first. That's how you fight the good fight, by not accepting somebody else's wrongdoings and let them, how should I say, meet their spiritual fate for what they've chosen in life. Oh yeah, there is a lot of things like that where people have sold their souls to the music industry, to the Hollywood, uh, for to be rich, right? For money.
They got diddy.
For fame and fortune. So here we go. So what do you think about the primo, about the people that do that? Very evil people. I mean, it happens in the music industry too, right?
Yeah, well, look what's going on with Diddy and
Everybody's
all
trying
them.
to gain the same thing, and everybody's backstabbing another. That's how evil
Hmm.
works. They don't even have to. Instead of waiting 10 years to collect the soul, they use the
Hello,
people
B.
within each
Yeah,
other
well, that,
to kill each other off to collect the
yeah, well,
soul sooner.
well, there ain't nobody going down by themselves, man. They're gonna take as many people with them.
Yeah. Look how many rappers have died.
Look how many people were sacrificed so that somebody else's career could prosper.
Yeah.
You don't think it's funny that Eddie Murphy's brother died and all of a sudden what's his name is back on the scene? What's his name? The comedian that quit his show and went to Africa. What is his name? Damn, I can't remember his name
What?
at the moment. He was in that movie Half Baked. I can't remember his name. He was the black comedian
I don't know,
dude.
'cause
He had his own show. He he quit and went to Africa, and he came back, and then they all of a sudden when he came back, Charlie Murphy died, and he came back on the scene. Dave Chappelle. They sacrificed Charlie Murphy so that Dave Chappelle could come back.
Uh,
He was a sacrifice. Yes, Murphy, Dave Chappelle.
I never said I'm more meant by the question, the alarming possibility that a good portion of these things or some percentage could all be human at one point. Uh, I mean, the dark shadow spirits could have been spirits at one point in time. That's why we see so many dark shadow figures because that's what they chose. They did a lot of things that were against God. So that could be the spirit form that might be in.
Welcome, Liz Delgado. Who
But
you
even
talking
like
to,
that,
Josh?
I'm trying to catch up.
Josh. George is asking is someone walking in the room with you, but he's not asked saying who.
Yeah, there was somebody walking over there.
He
I'm
was
trying to catch
rebel.
up to the comments.
He was rebel in human form.
Is Rebel.
Come on, pop. There we go.
I mean, I'm trying to catch up to the comments. They're coming in pretty hot and heavy.
Vamos a tomar agüita.
Yeah, most likely if somebody jumped off and committed suicide. Yeah, bonded spiritual openings. Oh, the shadow figures would be hanging in the church also. They'd be in church also. Yeah, there's a lot of pharmakia demons, drug demons that are taking on a lot of people or people that are on drugs. How? Because they're leaving themselves open spiritually. So the demons enter the body, the host, because they got the doors wide open for it. They're
No,
not
Josh, there are
coherent.
people.
What's
There
going
are people
on?
walking around in his house. Josh, it's one of
Let
his
me read
sons.
some of the
Josh,
comments here. Yes, there's somebody that's here with me right now. Well, the reason there's demons in the church, brothers and sisters, because there's people that are living in sin. There was some certain people here trying to say that they glorified Satan and they did a blood sacrifice and all this. You know, that's like them. They're gonna have to pay for that later on in the spirit. But the only way I would say is they would have to ask God for forgiveness and repent for their sins. And truly acknowledge Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. Because somebody could say something that they're repenting for their sins or asking God for freedom, but if they're not saying it truthfully in true faith and believe in Jesus Christ, then the fate is still gonna spiritually, spiritual faith is still going to be sealed. It's got to be done of true faith and true belief in Jesus Christ.
V. The cartels don't really to demons. The cartels are into Santeria and they're into the Santa Muerte.
Show the shirt that I got on right now.
Awesome shirt, cousin.
I was telling cousin Jesse that every Friday I'm going to put on a shirt for the topic that we're talking about. There you go. That's one of the things.
Welcome,
The red
Melissa Lee.
eyes, the red eyes. And when we talk about soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, succubus, incubus, uh, and certain cryptids, they all have something in common, especially at nighttime. Is the red eyes that they have in common. You know, the red eyes that stand out. What do you think the red in the eye stands for, Primo?
The red in the eyes always stands for demonic, primo. Anything with red eyes
Demonic.
is demonic.
That's right. You're right, brother Underfire. There's a lot of infiltration in the cryptic community, believe it or not. Also, a lot of people that are believing in Bigfoots are infiltrating. They're deceiving y'all. They're not believing in Bigfoots. They're actually what they're really believing is in demons. But they want you to believe it's a Bigfoot, but you're really worshiping a demon. They're not going to tell you that. They have to make up a make believe name for it. They do that to deceive as many people as possible. They probably laugh about it too at their little campfires. We got another sucker,
They're
the
roasting
little
marshmallows.
campfires, because that's what they truly believe in is in the demons. But they want to trick people that they're believing in Bigfoots, trick people believing that they're believing in a dog man or any kind of cryptid. Uh, there's infiltration in the paranormal community also. A lot of witches and warlocks trying to deceive people. The witches and warlocks that call themselves mediums and clairvoyants and all this. When have you heard one of them ever say, "I tie binary beacon Jesus Christ's name," or say the Our Father? You got to remember one thing when it comes down to that: Beelzebub cannot cast out Beelzebub. So for those individuals that open themselves out spiritually in that way, they cannot tell the spirit to leave if they're not using Jesus Christ, or an unclean spirit to leave if they have a spiritual opening because they're opening up themselves to the things in the spiritual realm. So no matter how many times they tell it to leave, it's not going to leave because they really don't have no jurisdiction over them because they're the same. Dwelling in negativity.
You could have asked Josh. I would have told you it meant cousin.
Maybe read some. I'm trying to catch up to the comments. So you got people doing campfires over there in the woods. I done found out about these individuals. I think we had somebody jump on here talking about that they got raped by a demon. No,
8 foot, 8 foot
it's
tall
because you
demon.
allowed it. It wasn't a demon that raped you. It was an individual that raped you, and you allowed it. You know. I think you was even rejoicing over it when we had you here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, and You were making fun of the situation.
You said he hated that
I'm just gonna
cookie.
let you know it's not gonna be that fun for you when you're in the lake of fire. You know, your fate is already sealed. I mean, it might be a joke to you right now, but when you're in the lake of fire, it's not gonna be funny anymore. But that's okay.
1 hour, cousin. 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, 1 hour,
Time goes
five
by
minutes.
fast.
You know, there's one thing about me, brothers and sisters. I know how it can be when you can have a black card. There's could be many things that could change your life. Where there's negative seeds that are planted in your life. That it's the way you are right now as an individual is because of certain things that happened to you throughout your life, in which maybe your heart was good at one point in time, where you could feel the heavenly angels around you, and you're trying to do good, but there was so many negative seeds planted in your path. And that's what I see about society today. So many negative seeds that are being planted in the past. I was born I was born in '69, grew up in the '70s. So then, at least I could give a little bit of credit to society, just a little bit, that we had parents that guided us with an iron fist, that we had to be obedient to what they said. And if we wasn't obedient to what they said to us, it was an ass whooping, right? Because they
For
will
real.
guide us with a whooping. And the whooping was because they love us and they just wanted to guide us in the right direction. What if the '70s were upon right now, here on 2024, right? If the '70s were 2024, there'll be a lot of people be getting ass whoopings by their parents.
There would
But
be no
no,
ABCDFD. There won't be no
there'll be no
LBCDFD.
there'll be not a lot of not a lot of services available right now for a lot of people if it would be the '70s right now, because there was a lot of things that there wasn't even a thought about. It was about two genders, male and female, right? And about trying to guide, but there's other people that've been around in the picture for a very long time, serial killers, child molesters, everything that's now used to be back then. But depending how your household was, if how your parents were, how how many times did your parents give you advice? If somebody comes and offers you candy, and they're trying to get you into a van or trying to give you a puppy, don't take it. Or if somebody tries to give you an apple, it's a lady, uh, give you a candy or something, don't take it because it could have witchcraft on. No, that's kind of advice that I remember when I was growing up by my mother, my great grandmother. But now society has changed so much that they're feeding their own children to the dogs, literally, by misguiding them, or society and misguiding them, misguiding people, leading them astray. They're trying to eliminate Jesus Christ out of the equation. Why? Why are they doing that?
Because it's making it
Because it'll
simpler
be
for the
one easier,
demons.
yeah, an easier soul to collect. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Man, these comments are going by fast.
I know.
I'm up here way back on campfire right now. So what do you think, Primo?
About campfires, I like to roast marshmallows.
No, not campfires. I'm talking about what I was talking about right now.
Yeah, you're right, Primo. You're right. I mean, if we were back in the 70s, there wouldn't be any ABC or any rainbow, and they wouldn't have no pride marches because that wasn't allowed in the 70s, man. That's
What will
why
happen? People like that, if they try to come out, they'll be arrested, right?
they'll be
They
arrested
let
and
him
their
be.
parents would beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, they'll be arrested, be thrown in jail, probably be in prison
Yep.
because that's not a right way of thinking. They will say that the person has something mental issues.
That's a good thing in there, Brian Griffin. You're right. You cannot worship God and Mammon at the same time. But yeah, because you're right. There wouldn't be anything like that if this was in the 70s because I grew up in the 70s and I never saw anything like that. And then in the 80s, we ran the streets. We weren't worried about somebody trying to kidnap us or child molest us. We were like, I wish I would. I wish I would. I wish I ever would try. Because, in the 80s, man, we ran the streets just doing adult stuff already when we were teenagers, man.
If somebody try to come up to us in the 80s, saying they belong to a cult or something, they'll get their ass whooped.
Exactly.
Literally.
Before before they even said, "You want some sneakers?"
Oh yeah, it was way different than it is now. But I stick to where what I know, and all I know is that there's a lot of people being misled by wicked people that are in power within our government right now. But everybody knows what Jesus Christ is,
You don't know what
and
a
it's just
hat man is, Josh?
was it?
Josh wants to know what's a hat man.
Well, you know who the Hatman is, Primo?
Yeah, the Mad Hatter, man. No.
Did I say it wrong?
What?
You know what I meant? The dark man, dark shadow man, because he's
No,
always wearing a hat.
no. He's
That's why I
just
call him the
everybody knows
Hatman.
him. Everybody knows him as a hat man, Primo. The hat man
Hatman. Yeah.
is a entity, man. That wherever he appears, Josh, he's always wearing a hat. Some people call him the
People
skinny
die.
man, but some people call him the hat man. And every time he appears is because somebody's dying or somebody's dead. He's just there to collect the soul. You know? That's what he is. My little 8-year-old great grandniece, man. She sees the hat man. And I told my niece that she needs to protect that child because that's one of the entities you don't want to see.
Yeah, he's evil, man. He shows up. The Hatman shows up. The Hellhounds show up. Or any of these entities that we're talking about. Soul Takers, Reapers, Hellhounds, and the Hellhounds and Hatman show up right before and during when
Death.
somebody's gonna die. As when you see them, it's because something's gonna happen. So that it's the Heavenly Father is warning you. You better go into prayer. Pray for your family members. If you're seeing it in your property around your house, it's because something's fixing to happen. So it becomes a spiritual battle. You're supposed to pray because this when they show up is because there's other infiltrations you cannot see that are there. It's kind of like playing a game of chess. So you have to go into prayer for not just yourself but everybody in your family. When they show up, normally people die. The Hatman and the
The
Hellhounds.
hellhound.
Yes, I see many things. Like I said, I'm spiritually gifted, so I'm able to see. People ask me, "Do you see something on me?" I can't tell when somebody has something on them. I remember I had a female tell me, "Do you see something on me?" And the only thing I could see was this the spirits of lust and sin on her. And I asked her a simple question. I asked her, "Okay, I'll tell you." I asked her, "How many boyfriends do you have?" And she said, "Well, I don't have boyfriends. I just have friends." Friends.
She
And I said, "Okay, what kind of friends do you have?" And then they
she
get a little
said
bit
they're
red from the
just a
face,
friend.
and they say, "Friends with benefits." Well, there you go.
She said they're just a friend.
I said, "What kind of friends? Is it friends that only come hit you up around 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning? Booty calls?" And they get red from
Booty
the
call.
face. Spiritual opening. I'm telling you. It's not the outside appearance, it's what's within the appearance.
Welcome, Pablo.
That if Jesus Christ is with you, there's no need to fear because he's with you. Yeah, I've seen the Hellhounds and I've seen the Hatman, Dark Shadow Man, what people want to call him. The way he looks like he's from a different time era, or like in the times of Jack the
Jack
Ripper,
the Ripper.
where he's got the coat and the top hat. Kind of looks like
Welcome, Lunar Eclipse.
he's he's all dark, and you can see the red eyes. That's what stands out the most. I mean the figure, how tall it is, but the eyes, the red eyes looking at you. That's what stands out the most is the red eyes. Liz the other booty call no more for me. Okay, here we go. So let's go back to topic. Uh, the Hat Man. When I ran into it, uh, it was the day I lost my mother when I was 15 years old. When I ran into this Hat Man, I'm not going to say the whole story, but maybe one day I will. It's the 3 more days. Uh, on Sunday would be her anniversary, but I ran into the what people call the Hat Man on that day, on that fateful day, and he didn't want me to get close to, I guess, where her body was. So we had like a Mexican standoff where I'm looking at it and it's looking at me, and I'm standing. That it's a road, and then there was a highway. So how far is that from town, Primo? That the location, the location I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good. I'm gonna say maybe 8 or 9 miles from town.
No, but the location of if you go down past the Elsie
Oh,
Smith,
okay, okay. I
I'm talking
remember
about that
past Elsie
vicinity.
Smith. It's maybe 5 minutes or less from Elsie Smith because you're gonna go straight down that street out into the
To,
to
yeah, that
where all
road.
the fields are. Yeah,
It's
about
where
five
the
minutes.
bridge is.
Yeah, about five
Yeah,
minutes.
well, in that location, it's where it happened, man. And he was looking at me, and what was weird about this, because sometimes when certain things happen, you you forget things, right? Because the way the moment is, where there's no time and it's dark, and you're looking for somebody that you love, right? And you could hear like something moaning, and you walk into where the moaning is, and then this Hatman appears with the red eyes looking at me, and I'm looking at it. It came straight up from underneath the ground, man, and it stood up. It was standing there looking at me. I was looking at it. It was very tall, and I'm not budging because, like I said, it's like one of those things about me is like I wasn't afraid, but when that was happening to the ranch, there was a ranch up the road. You could see the lights flickering, and like they were turning the lights on and off, on and off, and you could hear where people were laughing and stuff like that, right? Next thing you know, the Hammond just starts coming at me. He started chasing me. He wasn't even touching the ground. He was off the ground, like elevated off the ground, and it started coming towards me. When that happened, that's when I got on my bike and I went back into town. I was only 15 years old. If I had the wisdom and knowledge that I have now, I would have fought it spiritually, and I would have said, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name." I would have gone into deep prayer, call upon the heavenly angels, and I would have fought the Hatman spiritually through Jesus Christ. But then I couldn't, because I didn't have the wisdom and knowledge that I have now. But I know that sometimes it's fate, right? And sometimes you're not allowed to interfere in certain situations. But I tried my darnest to interfere in what was going on spiritually through Jesus Christ.
I'll be back. Man, damn allergies.
Let me read some of these comments, y'all. But what was weird about the Hammond is when I went back, I was on a 10-speed bike. Back then, it's what I call a 10-speed bike. Uh, I rode it back into town, and I crossed the irrigation system. When I crossed the irrigation system, because the irrigation system goes around our town, it's an agricultural town, and there's an irrigation system that goes all the way around the city. When I crossed that irrigation system and I turned back to look at the Hatman coming at me, it wasn't the Hatman anymore. It was a midnight black hellhound. It kind of looked like a it seemed the color it was and the way it looked kind of like a Doberman pincher of some sort, and it had red eyes. The hellhound had red eyes, and it was looking straight at me, and I was looking straight at it. This this hellhound, trying to catch up to the comments. So I started praying within myself when I seen the hellhound. I started praying with myself. So he was looking at me. His tail was sticking straight up in the air as it was looking at. I was looking at it. It was looking at me, but I didn't budge. I kept on praying. He just turned around and he leaped like 15 feet. It was leaping like 15 feet at a time. You know, like it was jumping a long distance, like very fast. So when that happened, is when I went back home and everything else happened. But there was another being that was my aunt identified another spiritual being, that we could add to the list as a soul taker, reaper, hellhound, uh, which was a monkey with red eyes sitting on the
Hmm.
tree, a bulto negro with red eyes that looked like a monkey on the tree. When people say that Bigfoot has red eyes, well, you can consider that to be a demon. A dogman has red eyes, demonic in nature. The Mothman has red eyes, right? How many other beings do you know of have red eyes, Primo, that you've heard people talk about?
They said that the vampires have red eyes, man.
There you go.
Uh,
Vampires.
I think that's the only one. The Goat Man here in Fort Worth, they say he has red eyes. Well, not in Fort Worth, but in Lake Worth. Other than that, that's the only two I've heard of that, other than the ones you mentioned that have red eyes. Man,
Yeah, I'm reading the comments. Yeah, somebody called it the devil monkey. It has red eyes. That's what my aunt seen on the tree. And she was scared, man. She was like, she couldn't get off the truck. Aunt Sylvia, ask her about it, Primo. She's the one that seen it.
Tia Sylvia,
Tia Sylvia.
I'll have to ask her about it next time I see her.
She seen it on the mora tree, man. The blackberry tree. This devil monkey that was there. Succubus. Let me see what else has red eyes that we know of.
Hmm. Trolls? Trolls have red eyes.
The what?
Trolls.
Crows?
Trolls. Primo. Trolls.
Oh, trolls. Yeah. The one that I remember that was like a reaper because he had a like a druid like hoodie hood. What are those outfits called, Primo?
Those
Where it's
are
like a robe of some sort with a hood,
uh, a druid robe.
like a druid robe or
Yeah.
like a monk robe, something of that nature. I witnessed that, which was it was literally like a soul taker, you know, because I witnessed it over my nephew's son when he was a couple of weeks old, where he had his mouth open and it was literally draining his soul, like sucking his soul. So when I seen it, it stopped doing that. It had his mouth open. You could see like light blue, right where it was draining my nephew's son's soul, and it took off out of the house, and I chased it, but it wasn't running. It was literally floating in the air off the ground, like 2 feet off the ground. But it was there to drain his soul, demonic in nature, whatever it was. That's what it was doing. But it fled, and I chased it too. I chased it like 150 feet to the park. And then when he got to the park, it started going into the trees. Like literally, it was in spirit form, dark shadow figure form, is going into the trees. Yes, it does have red eyes, Sister Morgan. So you want to share a story, Primo? Go ahead.
A story of something that has red eyes.
Or just something that we're talking about: soul takers, reapers, hellhounds. Uh, something that you witnessed. Uh, Well, I know that you witnessed several things, but that you've encountered certain things. Tell them about when you were being followed. You know, to follow you to the ranch, and you could feel something following you.
Oh yeah, when I was living out of town, I was living out of town, and we lived 2.5 miles out of town, and it was all dark highway. I was walking. It was like 2 in the morning. I was drunk as heck,
Cuando, cuando no.
and
How old were you when this happened?
I was about 17, maybe 18 years old, and I'm walking out toward the ranch, and I passed the one part that was I passed the one part that was on my left hand side. I was walking against traffic so they could see me, and then there was a fenced in farmland, and I heard what was like a cow. The cow was mooing and following me, and it was moving and following me, and every time it followed me, it would move, but it was like a weird move, man. And this happened every time that I passed there, like which was basically every night because I always walk home from school because I was always doing extracurricular stuff out in the street, and I would always lose my buzz right there because I always thought it was just following me, man. Now that I'm older, I'm thinking maybe it was a skinwalker because it was a weird move. It didn't. It sounded
There
like the
was always
cow.
activity there at that roadside park. You had to pass the
Yeah.
roadside park.
Uh huh.
It's
I
a
always,
lot of bad incidents happened in that roadside park, man. You know, a lot of people died there, no?
yeah. That's why they closed it. It's no longer there. They tore down the picnic tables and everything, man. It's no longer there, cousin. But yeah, every night that I would pass by there, that damn cow would follow me, moving like real weird, man. But it would follow me up the highway. Some of the nights I would just run the half a mile that was left to get to my house. I'd make it in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I never got to see if it had red eyes because I would try to always ignore it, man, and just keep looking down the highway. But yeah, that's my story on getting followed in the middle of nowhere because there was nothing, man. No houses, nothing you could run to. Not for like after you pass that roadside park, it was like half a mile to get to where we lived.
The area that he's talking about, cousin, brothers and sisters, is this there was this little. It's called the roadside park. It was like a little rest area out of town where, and he had to walk through it to get where he lived. But in that rest area, uh, back in the 80s, I remember that night what happened to my friend TT. He was at the Superette. I was there at the Superette talking to him because I would always give him a Walmart discount so he can buy his. He like collecting little lowriders, little model cars, and build them up. And we were at the Superette, and some guy was trying to talk to his wife, being real disrespectful. And Didi was fixing to whoop his ass. And they were like, "Hey, go meet us at the roadside park, blah blah blah, and all this stuff." And Didi, he was really pissed off, and they took off. You know, that's all I remember. That day is when he lost his life. They said that I guess what happened, they got out there at the roadside park, and Didi beat up the guy that was respecting his wife, beat the crap out of him because he knew how to fight pretty good. And I guess after he was in the vehicle and he was switching to leave, he heard somebody say, "What about me?" And by the time he didn't even get to look that much or turn his head, it was a younger brother of that guy had a gun and he shot him in the head. This is my friend Titi. You remember Titi?
He's the one that died. They shot him in his truck, right?
Yeah, yeah, that was my friend, man.
I remember him. He
That
was
was my friend since elementary. You know, I
welcome
was
event.
pissed, dude. That was my homeboy, man. He was older than me, but we were good friends. He was really one of my good friends, Titi. Even though he was already with his wife at the time, Melissa Ortiz, or that was his wife, where they were together.
Didn't
Uh,
he have a younger brother that everybody called him Piojo?
no, no,
No, no.
that's somebody else. That's
Okay,
Joe
but
Cantu, Gilbert Cantu.
yeah, no, but I remember Titi. He had a white truck. I think a white truck.
Yeah, he lived right there by the
With,
parasol down the
yeah, yeah,
street.
yeah, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, that was my friend, man. I knew him since elementary. But supposedly the people that killed him, man. To my understanding, what I heard, the brother they went to prison or something, but that there was something demonic happening there, where there was a lot of fighting within the family and stuff like that, because they lived out there in a ranch, the ranchos that are out there, something
Hmm.
dealing with that nature. And I think there was another person that got killed out there, got stabbed or something. I don't know. So many killings, in that, by the roadside park.
Yeah, yeah. I know, man. Because like I said, we used to walk by there every night.
I'm thinking it was something in the area, a a demonic presence in that area of what I'm sensing spiritually right now.
Well, yeah,
Something
because
something out there.
before we got to that park, especially like I was always by myself walking home. Like half a mile before we got when you got there to that park, you could feel something in the air. It was like a presence. Then you'd be looking all around you to make sure that nothing was gonna pop out on you, man. Because when you're walking down the highway at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, man, you have to watch out for anything, man. Just like the time I got to the
Is Wendy
roadside park and the
would Wendy be
immigration tried to
demonic
pick
with
me up.
red hair? I know, I'm just playing.
No, she's just a ginger. Yeah, man. One time I got across the roadside park, man, and the immigration tried to give me a ride to the house. I said, "No, thank you." Gonna
Well, because
wind up in.
we gotta do a sponsor. Uh, Grab your 5.99 double cheese meal with some chicken strips from Wendy's, your local Wendy's. Okay, there you go. There was a sponsorship.
Welcome to 2E.
The biggie bag. I think that's what it's called, right? The biggie bag.
Yeah, the biggie bag.
So man, I because I used to jog. Well, when I used to train, right, I used to run all those roads, even that road by the roadside bar. I'll go all the way that way and come out down by the roadside park all the time, man. And I could sense things out there. There was a location where there's a house going down the back ways. There was a house, and you could see some trees. I could always feel a presence of something there in the house, like it was looking at me. But the feeling that I felt was of brujas from that house. I never got to go into the property to see what was there or whatever, but there was a empty lot out there with a house, and you had all kinds of high grass on there.
Hmm. It's not the one with the pine, the palm trees on each side that went back into the yard, is it?
No, 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 no. I'm talking about, the road. If you go into the roadside park, you take a right. There's a blinking light, not a light.
Yeah, and
You
then you
take a
take a
right.
right, and that road goes back, and you catch the dirt
There
road to
takes you all the
Ravenville.
way down that road, and when you turn that to the right, where the road that goes to the junkyard,
Yeah,
I mean to the Davos, there's a
I was
house
junkie.
there. There was a
He
house
passed.
out there where it's got a
He
house that
passed
has
away, right?
yeah, yeah, there was a house that was very eerie, man. I would always get a presence, like if something was looking at me. My senses would get triggered all the time when I would pass by the house, when I would be running or jogging, training
Did you say
for for
cross country?
cross country. Yeah.
Did you say that Tavo was your godfather? No, right?
No, 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 no. No, I never said that. I said the road that goes to Davos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he passed away recently, man. A couple of weeks ago.
Then you said there was activity in his junkyard.
Yeah, there was activity in his junkyard, man. His dogs would always be barking at something in there, man. At night, when I lived at the rock court at night, I didn't like to pass through there, man, because I would get triggered. There was always something there. I would get triggered, man.
The reason there was so much activity there is because there was a lot of witchcraft, witches and warlocks, and the town itself is built on a. If you didn't know this, is built on limestone. On the limestone, the town Raymondville on limestone. So you get limestone, you get the heat. It stores a lot of energy, so you get a lot of paranormal activity because of the limestone, and that's why people act strange there. You said it yourself, people, cousin, that it feels like time moves real slow there.
Yeah, it's like you go into a time warp, man. As soon as you enter the city limits, it's like everything starts to slow down and you feel an ominous presence in the whole town.
I would always
We're
see
t-
this field to the right by the Texaco. As soon as you go past the Texaco to the right, you'll be able to see a field that has a remolino, a whirlwind, and it
a
looks
dust
like
devil.
like a dust devil, and it's pretty big. But what's weird about this? Every time I go to Raymondville, the remolino is always there. So I'm thinking that it's some kind of portal of sort, and it's to the right side. Every time that I've gone there, I've always seen it. Maybe one day if we go there, man, we'll do a live from over there so people can freak out.
That would be cool, man. That would be cool. I mean, how much farther is it from your house to Raymondville? About
Oh
another
man,
4 hours?
6 hours away.
Wow. I don't know, man. I don't think I can make the trip anymore, man. Because from here it's 8 hours, but since I stop every hour to use the restroom, that's going to turn into a 12-hour trip.
Yeah, I haven't gone there, man, in a long time. The only thing I see is people that I knew that are not here no more. They've crossed over already.
We're talking over here. Everybody's talking food in the chat.
Yeah, I see it. That's okay. Uh, I wonder if anybody's had any encounters with this soul takers, reapers, hellhounds. Man, if I would do a live in Elms Grove, maybe the count should do a live in Elms Grove.
I don't know, man.
There,
I
it's
don't think you
private
should.
property over there, man. They have all kinds of rules there now, where if they catch you there, they can call the cops on you and stuff. It's just private property.
I'll tell you what, man. I'll try to see if I can go down to your house, man, here next month. But I'll call before I go. That way, I won't catch you by surprise. And see if we can do it live. But it's 4 hours from here, man. I think to your house, ain't it?
Yeah, but you already know what's going to be out there, primo. You know that it's pretty hectic, man. I'm telling you, there's a lot of activity here in Central Texas. And somebody said, no, I don't.
'Cause I think the members of Spiritual Encounter would really enjoy both of us going out there to do an investigation, man. They can see
There's
me.
a lot of hot spots there, man. A
They
lot
can
of
see
hot
me.
spots.
They can see me poop my pants while I get attacked.
I don't know. I'm really thinking about it, man. Doing it live, going live from the wooded area at
Yeah,
nighttime.
I don't know, man.
But
Especially if you're gonna be, if Sucker sees, I mean, if Count Sears is gonna be there, that's asking to be attacked, man.
yeah, nah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what'll happen by then. But I know that I'll catch a lot of activity, but it's hard to see at nighttime.
Yeah, I know, man.
Uh,
We don't know where Caddo Lake is, Morgan. Liz wants to go out there too. Yeah, I'm down for doing it, man. But like I said, it's 4 hours from here to drive over there. That's driving, man.
there's a lot of locations in Central Texas that one place I want to go is where I got shoved off the ridge because I got a squirtle settle there. What happened to me there? And I know that they'll catch the activity there. It's pretty hot and heavy. That activity, that area, Chalk Ridge Falls, is hot and heavy with shapeshifter skinwalkers. Most of the walking trails that are in the woods, hot and heavy for shapeshifter and skinwalker activity. I'm
Oh
just letting
wow.
you know, real hot and heavy, man.
Yep. We're gonna have to rely on Primo's expertise at camping because I've never been camping. My daddy never took me camping, and I refuse to go on snipe hunts.
Louisiana. Well, I got a couple of hot spots that nobody knows about. The one of the hot spots, they cut all the woods out and they only left one tree up. The one tree they left up is where I had got some activity, but they took out all the rest of the trees in this wooded area. The other hot spot, they fenced it up. They got barbed wire all around it. It says no trespassing. That's where there was like a little pond, and I found a den of dead carcasses all over the place, like a big circle of dead animals, which I believe is hot for shapeshifter skinwalkers.
Yeah, man.
But that's in
So
Colleen area.
they fenced it up. Which way is the barbed wire? Is it facing out or facing in?
I don't know, cousin. I just remember I passed through there. They got the fence up. I think I have a video of it somewhere where it says
Because
"keep out" or something like that. It
because
says no trespassing. I'm not sure
if
if
it's
anyone.
because if it's facing out, that's to keep people out from getting in there. If it's facing in, that's to keep whatever's in there from getting out.
But that kind of activities everywhere in Central Texas, man. I used to see that kind of activity on Fort Hood also. I mean, I guess you could consider a shifter skinwalker in a sensible way. Uh, but they're territorial, so you know they can cause accidents where people can die, you know, or they could possess people to so things could happen to individuals. I think they all fall in the same category, man. Soul takers, reapers. I remember the soul takers when my grandfather passed away down in he was in La Villa Hospital. I think there's a hospital there in La Villa. and that's where we was at. And I seen two of them, two soul takers, go in there. They were all like in black. Walked inside the through the doors of the emergency room. The next thing you know, I seen the soul takers leave. Then I see my father come out and he's crying. He said his father had passed away, but because the soul takers came for his soul. I seen them when they left. I mean, when I had all those encounters of this things with they looked like reapers, like there were six strong, four strong, always coming around me. Maybe that's what they were trying to do, try to collect my soul, but I'm still here. Thank you, Jesus.
No, Liz, I don't go camping. I could just as easily get something to bite me in my butt here while I'm sitting in this chair. I wouldn't be a good camper. I'm not used to being out in the woods, man. So I must decline. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of activity. Just put it. Were you seeing? Y'all seen the video, brothers and sisters, where I'm just making a video in my room, and a dark shadow figure comes right at me in my room as I'm sitting down. And it moves pretty at a pretty high rate, pretty fast. They're very fast when they're in spirit form. You said go glamping.
Sorry, can't do it.
I've heard a story where they said if you see a hellhound three times, that on your third time, that's it. Is that true, Primo?
What? I was reading
About
the
the
comments.
hellhound?
What about it? I
The
didn't. I
hellhound.
didn't. I,
If you see it three times, that's it.
no, that's what they say, Primo. I've only seen one hellhound in my whole lifetime, so I've been pretty blessed not to see any more. Cause I was reading under fire is asking you a question. Do you feel pressure and the presence of things around you and near you daily?
Yeah, it causes disturbance within the senses. Sometimes I hear my ear ring. Sometimes I could feel like goosebumps and my hair stand up out of nowhere. Or at times I'll see the shadow figure forms pass. Or if I'm asleep, they're while I'm asleep they'll mess with me in my sleep. Or uh, I feel somebody touch me and I wake up and there's nobody there. But when I'm waking up, I could see something move in a shadow figure. Things like that always happen to me. Yeah, but that's part of the balance. We're here. They were here at one point in time, but they're just amongst us in spirit. So, can they warn us? Would be another question. Can the things that are in spirit form warn us of danger? Because they know they're part of the balance. In the balance, that there's a past, a present, and the future. As can they warn us things that are in spirit, like guardian angels and angels? Can they warn us, like take a left, take a right, duck? Warn us from certain things happening to us. I believe they do, because it's happened to me numerous times, and I'm still here. Uh, but when the soul taker or reapers, I'll say reapers. Let's talk about reapers. They come in numbers. There's not four reapers, five reapers. There'll be six reapers or more, but they'll come in numbers. They come in numbers like that for the fear factor. remember one time, cousin. I haven't said this, but in honor of my mom and your mom, uh, there was and grandpa. I remember when I was fighting spiritually in Elms Grove, and I was getting attacked daily. You know, talking about being bonded or being demonized. I was getting attacked daily, and when I would try to get rest, they wouldn't let me rest. So I remember one time I was so tired, so exhausted of fighting spiritually that I heard somebody say something. The two voices that I heard was my mother and your mother.
Oh
May
wow.
they rest in peace. And your mother said, Olga, no lo llevamos ya. And that's what your mom said, Olga, no lo llevamos ya. And then I heard a voice said, no, tú ya está fuerte. Él puede pasar esto. No es su tiempo todavía. No. The voice
Oh
I heard
wow.
was my grandfather's, Grandfather Joe's. It was his voice said no. So I was able to wake up from that. And around that time frame was the time when I felt a small spiritual opening that I used to overcome the unseen enemy. But their spirits were around, watching over me, but they were there to, whether it was them or not is the bigger question. But if one of them said no, he's strong still. He can overcome this. So what do you think that was? Do you think it was really them? And if they're saying something positive,
I'm thinking that if it was positive, it might have been them. But it's like I told you, once they die, they leave this plane, so it might have not been them.
but
Uh,
sometimes they can come as guardian angels,
yeah,
right?
that they can.
So it could have been them watching, looking over me. That's what I felt because I did feel their presence.
There's a question that Thunder Fire posted, man. That what is that ear ringing? You think is it a portal opening up? I get that every few days. I don't see things much,
No,
but
no,
it
it's not a
seems
portal, brother. What it is your 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 senses. That's part of your senses. So what they're trying to do when you hear your earring or pop in your ear is they're trying to infiltrate you. They're trying to fire one in into your foundation. That's why you hear the popping of the ear, because it's moving in spirit, right? It's spirit. So has this ever happened to anybody? Whether it's
it.
like if we call it in Spanish a punzada, where a gust of wind goes in the ear and it causes an earache. Well, in the sense of with that, then you go one where if your air coming out of your ears, well, they move in spirit, so they have the capability entering your ears in that form because they move very fast, like wind. Then there's times where you might be saying something and you feel a gust of wind go into your throat and you lose your breath. That's a form of a spiritual attack. The ears when it goes down in your mouth, or when you gasp for air because you lose your breath from your nose. They they attack in that way, or through the eyes. The itchy eyes, the tear ducts. That's how they attack and try to keep you bonded from sensing them spiritually by attacking your natural senses. You know, that's how they infiltrate. That's what they do. If they can block your senses so you won't be able to sense them, then they'll be around you freely without you even noticing them because your senses are being uh bonded. Does that make sense, cousin?
Well, if it's a gust of wind, that could be it. But if it's a ringing, it depends on which ear, cousin. If it's a ringing in the ear, if it's the right ear, it's something angelic trying to get a hold of you. And if it's in the left ear, it's someone that you know that's trying to get a hold of you.
There's another one. The when your ears feel real hot. What does that mean?
Oh, that just means somebody's talking about you.
I'm
Damn
talking about
chismosos,
you, right?
damn gossipers.
See some of these comments here. Yeah, they'll knock the breath out of you, man. I'm telling you, these unclean spirits, they can teleport right through you. Their spirit. It's not teleport. I'll just say that because they're in spirit form, they can go right through you. As they're going right through you, they'll drain some of your energy out of you.
And which your exuberance? Which your did it ring high pitched? Because if it's your right ear, it's something angelic or God trying to get a hold of you, trying to talk to you. Be back. Uh-oh.
Cold is another one. You feel very cold, chills. Is because you're sensing the energy. I got a picture of when I was in the woods and that I felt something cold. And in the picture, you can see like a cold mist. I need to post that, share it with y'all. And you can see something there, but I didn't want to think too much of it. All I know is that that evening I left the woods because I felt I was being surrounded. I went through, as I was walking through the path, I felt two different kind of energies. One was very cold, and there was another one that was very warm. So there was two different temperatures. One was like super cold, and the other one was super hot. But I left the area regardless. Like me, I used to be in the military with the big booms as a tanker, right? So sometimes I feel that some of the things that happen to me, it has to do with the big booms. But uh spiritually, before I was even in the military, I could send these things in this manner. We call it punzadas in the ears where air enters, and I got one that's even deeper than this. Let's see if anybody knows what I'm talking about. How you doing, Sister Dawn? Has anybody heard this? Has anybody heard like like it's just you by yourself? Can you hear at times like low whisper sounds like somebody saying something, but the voice that's whispering or saying something is coming out of your eardrums or is coming out of your own mouth. That's the sound that you're hearing is either coming out of your ears or coming out of your mouth, but it's a voice of something saying something, you know. Maybe it could be possibly some air coming out of your body. Or do you think it's a negative attachment that's upon you that's causing the sound of somebody whispering that sounds like a woman saying something that is coming out of your mouth and you're not saying anything? Has that happened to anybody? I'm putting that out there on the platform to see if anybody's experienced anything like that. That possibly could be a negative attachment. Whispers that come out of your ears or whispers that come out of your mouth when you're by yourself and you hear them and you're trying to figure out where this is coming from, or do you think it's just trapped air in your ears or in your mouth? But it literally sounds like somebody is saying something. Has that happened to anybody?
2 hours and 4 minutes, cousin.
Has that ever happened to you, primo?
No, that's never happened to me. I mean, I've heard somebody call my name and I turn around, there's nobody there, but not that it came out of my mouth or my ears. No, that's never happened to me before.
It's kind of like sometimes it feels like you just don't have doesn't you you just don't have your own soul, but that you have the soul of many. Like if that the souls are getting attached to you because they know that you maintain the Love Foundation, so they know that you're the way for them to be saved. So they get attached to you in some kind of way. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. But like I said, I've never experienced that it's coming out of my mouth or my ears. I've never experienced that.
It could be in a spirit that's attached to you because they know that you have a beacon of light, and they're like, "Well, this is my only way out. So let me jump on this spirit, so it can help me cross over." You know. Let me see. Morgan says, "Oh shoot, no way! I just got a ring for a couple of seconds in my left ear." Hello, that never happens. Well, that happens to me all the time. That sometimes that I hear things, in that nature. That if I could record it, I could be in my sleep and think when I waking up, I could hear like something saying something, you know, where there's my spirit that's not getting no rest, that is working overtime. But yeah, I've heard those things. Whisper, I guess you could call them like whispers, right?
Hmm.
We'll leave it like that. Whispers, something whispering. Uh, of course, one of the other things that you can sense is when all your hairs stand up and you feel goosebumps. That's another thing that gets triggered when the things are around. Uh, but it's to me it's just an automatic thing. When I senses things, I go straight into prayer, or I'm gonna take my love foundation and radiate it out, so the things can't uh, attach or try to attack my body, my vessel.
Welcome back, Cynthia. How you doing?
Any questions, brothers and sisters? While I'm here, I'll answer any questions. Anybody got a question for me? Not put your questions in capital letters so like that I know it's a question.
Honestly, man, if anything like I hear anything like that when I'm in my bedroom, cousin, some voices or I feel somebody sit down on the edge of the bed, man, I just throw them a fart and tell them to get out of my room. I'm tired.
Or
Que se avienta un pedo, le digo que se van a la fregada, no estoy molestando.
yeah, I've had things happen to me where feel somebody shoving me, poking on me.
You know,
Um,
you know what happened to me last night, cousin? My bed was trembling, man, like this, like that. My bed was trembling like that, man.
were you getting flashbacks? Okay, primo.
I don't know, cousin. I was like half asleep, half awake, and my bed was trembling. I was like, "What the hell?" So I turned around to face the wall, man, and just ignored it. It went away.
Hey, what would be the reason one would be getting attacked a lot, like you mentioned for me? Do some people get targeted more than others in such cases, or is it all just normal? it depends on your journey in life. Um, but if you're doing the good works, which you try your best to share some wisdom and knowledge, I believe that you are getting attacked because it's like you believe certain things spiritually, uh, and you're like in between, like you're getting pulled to the left, you're getting pulled to the right, you're getting pulled to the left, and you're getting pulled to the right. In which I believe that's why you're being targeted that way. Because I believe now the more that you're growing spiritually, you're within yourself, you feel that Jesus Christ does exist, especially when you hear other people's testimonies. So as you're leaning more to Jesus Christ, these other things want to pull you back because they don't want to free you from the control they have over you. That's why becomes a debate to a lot of people. You could say it's a spiritual debate within them between the good and the bad because they're being pulled back and forth. And that's what normally happens when you're trying to find out yourself, your spiritual self worth as a child of God. And as you're growing spiritually, you're learning, hey, I am somebody. Uh, the Heavenly Father does love me. He's blessing me with the spiritual gifts so I can share with people. And evil ain't having it. He's trying to keep you uh, blinded, but you're awakening, brother, under fire. You're seeing, and that's why you're getting attacked right now the most because you're doing God's works, but it's pulling you because it doesn't want you to break free. And I got a feeling that you're breaking free from it. But remember, you're not alone, and Jesus Christ is with you, and the heavenly angels are with you. So you're never alone in this fight. And of course, you got all the members here of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters backing you up too, brother. As we know, we pray here for everybody all the time.
Thank you,
So how
Sin.
would you answer that question, Primo?
What question? Why
The reason,
some people get
yeah,
targeted more than others is because they can see if you are like let's say like Abe, the spirit recognizes the spirit, but it can also see his spiritual light that is bright. So they're attracted to him, and that's why they follow him around and target him because they're trying to diminish his light. That's why. And people that do not have spiritual gifts of discernment, they don't get targeted as much because their light is not bright, so they don't bother with them. They go after what they sense is a threat spiritually. That's why some people get targeted and some people don't. Morgan, at exuberance, yeah, man, the invisible fighter, the invisible, yeah, and Lawrence, yeah, they call me DJ Air Biscuit, man. But yeah, cause that's why some people get attacked and some don't, man, because they go after the spiritual threat, which is the people that have the brightest light. Some people don't have the gifts of discernment, so their light isn't as bright as others, so they don't get targeted as much as others. They go after the threat to the spirits, man. Also, they can see the faith that somebody has. If you have great faith, they can feel that also. So that makes you a target of opportunity because they're gonna try to see and test your faith.
they know.
You
Just as
said
the
it
Heavenly
yourself,
Father
Chris?
knows, they know what's in your heart. They know what path and walk in life you're walking. They know. So they know they have jurisdiction or not to attack you spiritually.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why I always say,
That was
always
a good
look on the
question.
Heavenly Love Foundation. You
That
got
was a
to.
good question. Good question, Morgan.
Yes. Any more questions here before we continue with another story? Give me a topic dealing with of what we're speaking of. And if I got a story with y'all, I'll share it with y'all. Soul Takers, Reapers, Hellhounds, the Bulto Negros, whatever, that normally when there's something in this nature, brothers and sisters, there's always a disturbance in the balance. Activity happening that's out of the ordinary. You're like, whoa, this is kind of weird. It's there's always like time lapses where certain things in time are getting interrupted, in which a regular routine that you would do daily seems like a longer routine, even though you're traveling at the same speed or doing the same activity. It just seemed longer, or there's something that seemed faster. That's when there's interference in that way spiritually within the balance, that you're able to see certain things, feel certain things out of the ordinary, or things that are impossible to happen, but they're happening. You're like, why are these things happening? It's because the things of the balance have to identify themselves to you, whether they identify themselves to you as angelic or whether they identify themselves to you as demonic. They have to identify themselves.
So has anybody picked a story that they want cousin to come out with? We're still waiting on you, the members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounter, to give him a topic, and he will give you a story.
Any story dealing with these things that we're speaking about. Let me show you well, y'all see my shirt already. Let me show it to y'all one more time.
Cool. Exuberance wants to hear the Hatman experience that happened with your sister, Abe.
That happened with my sister. I'm thinking you're talking about
The Ouija
the
board.
one dealing with, well, I had something like that happen. I just don't know if it would be considered a hat man or something dealing with a generational curse, but it was the one that happened to me when I was in Germany. When I
Welcome,
was in Germany,
YFWT. Has he ever seen has Abe ever seen a demon like the one on his shirt?
like the one in my shirt, yes, I've seen something like that that I've captured through imagery, and I've seen them in Elms Grove. The ones that were when I was fighting for my life after I got the blood clot, and I went back to Elms Grove, and my sister was with me. I was surrounded by six of them standing in my room, reaching out to me, and they all had skeleton arms, and you can see the skull faces on them, like reapers. And I seen my sister run, jump on my bed, and she started praying for me. I remember seeing my sister praying for me. After years, I asked her, "How come you ran and jumped on the bed?" And she said, "Because I seen them standing in the room. Uh, that's why I ran and jumped on the bed, and I went into prayer to help me out spiritually, which was six of them. It's when I had a black clot in my left leg, and I was fighting for my life because they tried to kill me at King Daughter's Hospital for my organs. So yeah, they came for me, man. They was trying to claim somebody's life, but you gotta remember whether somebody's trying to take you out spiritually or physically. If you make it, there's a price to pay because the 17th foal has to go somewhere, which is the fate that was supposed to happen happened, but it happened to somebody else. It didn't happen to me. It happened to the person that got to see me when I came back into this reality or into this world, which was the doctor. All I remember when I came to my body, my spirit went into my body. My body was in convulsions. The eyes were all back wide. That when I came to spiritually, I didn't have to open my eyes because it was already open. So my eyesight came to me automatically, and the doctor had opened the curtain. He had a smile on his face, had a cup of coffee in one hand and a donut in the other. And when he see me looking at him, I believe he dropped a cup of coffee, turned around, and ran out of the room, scared. Well, when I tell you that it goes by 7 times fold to the sender, the one that lost his life was not me. It was a doctor. The doctor that took off running. How did he lose his life? He took his life through suicide, shot himself. That's how he lost his life. How would it? What would it have to do with him? Because he was a doctor. I had already spoke to him. He was the one in charge. And what they tried to do to me is inject me with so much blood thinner in my system that my organs will fail because my blood will be too thin. Like I said, it wasn't up to man; it was up to the Heavenly Father. So the Heavenly Father intervened. He blessed me to come back, and here I am still working fine. Just that the individual lost his life because he took his life. Most likely, he said, "I'm going to have to pay for all the sins that I've done of taking out so many people or killing so many people for the organs here in King Doctor's Hospital." So that was the whatever was there to collect the soul or collected the soul of the person that was in charge of what happened to me. So he passed away 2004.
Uh, exuberance. That was me, man. When we lived at cousin Abe's house, that smiley guy would always be at the window, so I would always cover my head and look away from the window so I wouldn't have to see his glowing eyes and his white teeth.
His brother Lawrence, him, his staff in the ICU room, the RNs, all the nurses over there in the ICU room. That's what they were doing, is killing people in the ICU room. When I walked into the ICU room, I remember it was an African American. He had all kinds of hoses in his mouth, his nose, and he was moving his feet like this. And I was trying to figure out why he's saying no to me. Then I looked at his eyes, and he had his mouth so his eyes were going left and right also. So he was warning me, like telling me to get out of there. I just didn't see it at the time. I just thought it was a person that was going to. So I stopped and I prayed for him, but I didn't know that he was trying to warn me. Like I said, the Heavenly Father does warn you of things, but you have to really be paying attention. What I mean by that, you have to pay attention in detail to every little thing. And if you pay attention to every little thing, then you understand there at that point in time that there is a higher power that's watching out for us. But you have to pay attention even to the smallest of details. So he was talking about the Hatman at the house, Primo.
Yeah, he was talking about the cholo dude in the window with the glowing eyes and the teeth. that was always
Oh
there at the
yeah.
window.
Well, my sister would see him too.
Yep.
I would see him all the time. I think she's seen him there too many times. See some of the comments here. Oh yeah. One time they had me heavily medicated, and this freaking nurse that looked like a linebacker. She was huge. Was trying to break a needle in my arm, and I was holding from the wrist with my other arm, even though it was heavily medicated, and she couldn't budge my arm. I was just holding her. She was trying to break the needle in my arm till my sister got there. And when she seen, I was like, sis, my sister was looking for me, and the lady took off. So by the time my sister got there, she was already quite a bit of far away. No, I told her, but I was mumbling because I was so heavily medicated. But yeah, she tried to break a needle in my arm. That's how evil they are. So if the needle travels and goes to the heart into the brain and you die, what are they going to do? What are they going to be? Oh, it was a defective needle. That's what you know. That's what they're going to say, right?
Yep.
They always have some kind of excuse for everything.
Yeah.
And
Liz says she's seen this cholo guy too.
I used to call him the smiley man because he's always smiling.
Mm-hmm.
You could see white teeth, but they didn't look like teeth because it was like a glow, like white, and then the eyes were white. He was just smiling, and he had like one of those. What do you call them? Those hats, primo?
A fedora.
Which, yeah, he had one of those hats on, and he was always putting his hand by the window and smiling. He would go like this, put it right on the screen window, and he wanted me to place my hand by him, but I never did. I would just go hide underneath my blanket because I was small when I would see him, and I look out through a little hole in the blanket, and I could see him looking at me like this, you know, looking downward, looking at me like he knew I was looking at him. Next thing you know, as he's looking, he just moves to the side real fast, and when you go look, he's already gone. The Hat
That's
Man.
what. That's why I stay aware. That's why I stay away from hospitals under fire. If I get sick, I use home remedies, man. You go to the hospital, you get something you don't have when you walked in there, man. I learned that from when they operated me right here. The nurse taught me, touched me with gloves that she had used to touch somebody else, and this was an open wound. It turned into MRSA. I was in the hospital for a week, and then they had to operate on me. They made a big old hole right here and packed it with gauze. So yeah, I tend to stay
Uh,
away from hospitals and people in white coats.
I see a lot of dark shadow spirits in the hospitals. Every time I go to a hospital, I see them. They're roaming around from room to room. Uh, they're out there, because what's the deal with the hospitals? It's about the balance, right? Some people are going to live, and some people are going to die in the hospitals. So you always catch that kind of activity in there too. Shadow figures, some that manifest to look like nurses. The nurses don't even work there. It could be a manifestation of a nurse from a different era, but they're there in the hospitals. Let's see. This Sister Liz says, I wasn't afraid of a Cholo guy. He appeared harmless to me. I wonder how she witnessed him. Yeah, I would see him all the time. Uh, Yeah, sometimes you just have to stay away from whatever that is. If your senses are going haywire, if they're going out of control, it's because it's not good. The brujas and warlocks, they be wearing those jewelry like robes also. The black, some are black and some are what was it, black and red. They got black, red, and I've seen some that have brown. They look like the druid ones that are brown in nature. They're brown, but you know I've seen the black, brown, and red. Yeah, and red.
Yeah, Lawrence, you don't want to put anything on the floor that you're carrying with you in the hospital because that's where all the germs are. I see people sitting on there when there's nowhere to sit. They sit on the floor, and by the time they get seen, they're really really sick because all the germs are on the floor.
Yeah. Let me lean back a little bit.
Was that
Lean
the
back.
was that the seventh inning stretch, primo? Where's our mascot? ¿Está dormido?
Yeah, he's taking a nap. Yeah, I used to see him in the hospitals. There's shadow figures, hospitals, church, in the woods, uh, in motels, gas stations, any place that's unclean.
Oh.
I had the weirdest thing happen to me today. I wasn't waiting to deposit some money at the bank, and there was this guy dressed all in black in front of me. Pretty tall guy, like 6'3", 6'4". And then he turns around and he said, "Oh, go ahead, you can go before me." He said, "I'm just waiting to talk to the bank manager." And it was weird because he was dressed all in black. Then he stayed in the distance and kept on letting people going forward. So I don't know what he was really doing there. My spirit told me to be careful, which I didn't make contact with him. But there was definitely very something about him in the horror side. I felt that spiritually that he had a negative attachment on him. That's what I felt. So I just followed my spirit. Somebody says I hate the shadow entities.
That's sin.
So you must not like the movie The Dark Man. What was it? What was the name of the movie, Primo? Dark Shadow.
There's shadows.
There was a movie called Dark Shadow, wasn't it?
It was about that. Wasn't it called the shadow or something like that?
He was dealing with a guy, Ben Affleck. No, no. What was his name?
I can't remember, but something happened to him, and then he
He
was
used to
like,
come on an SNL show on the SNL Saturday Night Live. I just can't remember his name. Well, the shadow one that chased me and cousin Jesse was drunk. That one was pretty big.
every time I
It was
remember that,
huge.
man, I
I,
feel
I
like
didn't see I didn't see no red eyes on that one. I just seen a big old black mass coming at us.
I remember that one, man. That one cost me money because I had been drinking all day, spending money. When I saw it, I lost my buzz. That shit got me straight fast.
There you go with Alec Baldwin.
That thing could move too, primo. It was catching up to us. Ooh, man, I'll never forget that.
It was
We're,
moving in phases, brother and sisters. It was moving in phases and we're real fast
we were doing 40. It was catching.
on that road. Wasn't we messing with it, going back and forth,
Yeah.
messing it up? Didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a circle, a donut, and went back at it. Like we were playing Toro or something like that, no?
Yep.
I think I messed with it like that.
We were like, we passed by and go, ole!
Yeah, I did. Remember anymore?
Yeah.
On the truck. And then he's like, we were like, get the hell out of here. We cut through the west side and we're going through some callejones or whatever. And it was chasing us.
Hey, man, that little truck could move for as old as it was.
He chased us all the way over there by the park too, to where cousins live.
The
Los
smiley face
primos
part.
across. Yeah, no, the other part, the west side
The
part.
the Pony League part.
We're trying to go to different roads so it wouldn't follow us home. But I think it still made it to follow us home, and that's where my sister will see the big old figure on the last room window looking at her. Oh, she said she will see the big red eyes looking at us.
Yep. In the shower.
Yep.
It was a perv. He was looking at me in the shower. Good night under fire. Have a good night, man.
Good night on the
Good-
fire.
2 hours, 37 minutes, cousin.
We're having a pretty good show tonight, man. A las tres we'll stop.
Okay.
Save the energy for tomorrow. I think I might have an extra shirt of this one, Primo. I just don't
That's
know what
that.
size you wear.
We're 2X, man.
I got one of this ones. I think I might have an extra one like of a dog man, a
See
sort.
that one would be good, man. I'll wear a dog, man. That way I could take him for a walk.
You ever notice that every time we try to do a topic of soul takers, reapers,
Yeah,
hellhounds, or anything demonic, that
we never finish.
or there's always interference at the beginning because people are going back and forth because of scripture and stuff like that.
Hmm. Where's the merch for the shirt? See, he wants to know where your merch is, cousin, for business. He says he needs that shirt.
I'm gonna might have to buy some, man, and start selling them. It's badass, but you should see the ones I bought my son for his birthday. They're dragons, man. Because you got the tattoo of a dragon. There you go.
Good night, Liz Delgado. Sleep good and rest well.
Good night, Sister Liz. There you go. Let me
Nice
take this
shirt.
off here.
It's a nice shirt, man.
Yeah, yeah. I've had some. Yeah, y'all like this one. So what I'll do is I'll put on the shirts, and if people like the shirts,
You might as well start buying all the shirts that you're gonna be wearing, man, because then put them in the merch. That way they can buy them. They're nice shirts, man. I like them myself, man. They're nice shirts.
yeah.
I wouldn't go to church in them, but they're nice shirts.
Well, I've been buying them for to do the podcast. to look a little different than what other people are doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Especially for Halloween.
Excuse
You
me.
should see the dog. You should see the Dogman one or the Lycanthrope one that I got, man.
If you have an extra
Uh,
one of those, man, if you want to send me a shirt, that's the shirt to send me, man. The
which
the
one?
the Lycanthrope one, the Wolfman one, the Dogman one. That way
Yeah,
I can wear it. I wear that sucker, man. If you're ever gonna send me one, man, I'll shoot you my directa, man, on Messenger.
yeah, man.
That way I can get it here, and then we'll coordinate, man, and wear them on Fridays. The dog shirts. You give me a dog shirt, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go buy me a dog collar with spikes. Be
and
sitting
the
here,
guy's gonna show up. It's gonna show up drunk, trying to.
take me for a
I got
walk.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, that was a good shirt for business. The one where the knight is kneeling. That was an awesome shirt.
yeah.
It was a
Those are,
he was a knight wearing a knight. That was awesome.
mm-hmm. Thank you, Sister Cynthia. So you'll buy a shirt. Man, I can make it happen, man. Uh, order a couple of them. Just tell me your sizes and stuff, and you know, uh, probably I can get whatever shirt of whatever you like of whatever you're into, like a shirt. You should like I said, I got a pretty badass lycanthrope one. That's probably
That's
gonna
what.
be in demand too. When y'all see it, y'all gonna like it.
Yeah, I'm demanding it right now. I'll
Some of
be
these
like,
beans, right? I guess you could say the red will stand for whether it's the red of the eyes or the red glow within the body will stand for the energy or the soul, the energy of it, right? Red will be a demonic energy. That's why they manifest that way. But yeah, cousin, I got some extra ones, man. I just man, people like this one. It's
that
crazy,
one's a,
man.
that one's cool, man. I like it.
I got another one like this,
Hey,
but it's different,
Rebel.
and it's got fangs. It's got fangs on it, man. Like that one I want to save for the Nosferatu. It's got like
Hmm.
fangs on it.
Was that our
Man,
mascot that just woke back up?
was that?
Was that our mascot that just woke back up?
Yeah, he's right here.
Ah,
He was in
Rebel.
he was in Junior's room. That's where he was at with Junior. There we go. The eyes are looking at y'all, man. Look at that.
With a rebel yell, he wants more, more, more.
He already took off. But I hope y'all enjoying tonight's show. I mean, we talked about a lot of things. But the Soul Texas Reapers don't have to look beastly or don't have to look that way. They could be in the form of a regular person also, especially if they're coming to collect the soul during the day as a representative. They have to have their attire. They look a certain way. They can look like a regular person during the day. The only one that could see the true nature of the beast would be the eye of the beholder. It depends on
Hmm.
the path of the eye of the beholder. if that
Yes,
makes
sir.
sense. So if it's a witch or warlock that's made a deal with it, then they know what's there talking to them because they can see the eye of the behold. They can see what it is.
Yeah, that one would be good too, Morgan. She said you need to have a shirt that says "Spiritual Encrypted Encounters" on the front with a logo, and back says always maintain your love, heavenly love foundation. And then Abe seals at the end. That sounds like a good shirt, cousin.
Yeah, I have a friend that he does shirts, but I have to speak to him about that one. There's
That
other
sounds like
ones
a
I found this site where I go to and I'll be grabbing them pretty at a decent price. I
that.
got them for the show. I said, okay, let me get some shirt for October so I can wear every Friday, wear a nice shirt, even though I've been wearing them for a while now, but the ones that look like this for the Fridays, Friday night delights or Friday night horror, you know. Uh
Uh,
yeah, next week before the count comes, what day are we today?
we are
We're
the
the Yeah, next week I want to wear before Count Cios comes, I want to wear the DM one, but I will have to, see if I can mail you one of the extra ones that I got, primo.
all right.
I'll figure something out. But if you really think about that saying, uh, what Sister Morgan, what I say, uh, always maintain what's this? Always remain
She misspelled
maintain.
it. She's misspelled maintain with remain.
Oh yeah, always maintain your heavenly love foundation. That's the key right there. That's the key to overcome anything, any spiritual trials and tribulations. You have to always maintain your heavenly love foundation. I believe my son's birthday picture. I talked about that. They say that there's been a lot of people that stories where the day they see the Reaper or the Hellhound or whatever form of manifestation they come at, that's the last thing they see when they cross over. But it's all about spiritual openings, brothers and sisters. What you're believing in. I don't know what happened to Griffin, if he's still here or not. You know, he opened himself, I guess, since a teenager to the. I guess what he said he will practice. He was into witchcraft, so he opened up himself to that. I guess he was talking about he gave up the soul of his son to abortion to Lucifer. He's talking about all this kind of things. You know, which the only thing you can do is pray for people for them to find the right way, to see the error of the ways, to ask God for forgiveness, repent for the sins. Most of the people that worship Lucifer is because they want powers or they want this witchcraft and necromancy. right? To have power over people. But what they don't understand is that the power that they think that they're getting blessed with, or not, it's not a blessing that they're given. If they only knew that the power is already within them, that the demons that they're making deals with or deceiving them, because we have those powers within us because we're children of the light. So we don't have to go to a middleman or third man. The powers of good are within us. Or, that's why the balance is, because some people go to good and some people go to doing wicked things, right? But it's upon how you want your heart to be, or how you want to be as an individual. But yeah, many people have made these deals, and I've run into this witches and warlocks, even till now. I've known some of them because they were in my family, right? So when they're fixing the crossover, they're still being, how should I say, evil. The reason that I said they still become evil, they're still evil, is because they're still trying to find a way to give it their what their fate is, because of what they're dabbling. They're trying to pass it to somebody else within the family line, right? That's what they're trying to do. But when you already know about these things and you have the wisdom and knowledge, you don't accept it. And the fate of that individual is their fate, because that's what they chose. And that's only fair, I would assume, right? That if somebody's dabbling with something and their fate is their fate, it shouldn't be my fate, shouldn't be cousin Jesse's fate or anybody's fate. It's a personal choice that they made. But they can always ask God for forgiveness and repair for the sins. So that's the soul takers, reapers, hellhounds. They'll show up. Normally, when the hellhound and the dark man shows up, there's all kinds of things happening. A lot of things happen at once. It could be a lot of killings. I believe in Chicago, like what, 5, 6 years ago, there was a sighting of Dogman, Mothman, the Hatman, and Dark Shadow Spirits happening all around Chicago. And it was when a lot of people were being murdered in the streets. Why would they be there? Hello, murders, killings. That's what they thrive on, right? Chaos and division.
Chaos and
So
division.
they're there to collect the soul. What do you think about that, cousin? So
Yep.
I'm not surprised
Yeah.
that people that have the spiritual gift of discernment are able to see them. Just
Yeah.
like
Well,
your
that.
cousin Jesse can see them, I can see them, and many people here, Sister Cynthia, Brother Exuberance, Sister Morgan, uh, even the Griffin guy, Under Fire, Brother Josh Turner. He has the ability to see also what's the spirit, because the enemy has to identify itself to you. So if the enemy is identifying itself to you, then you take authority over it and say, I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome to. You're not welcome here. Leave. Take authority over it.
Oh,
Thank you,
that doesn't
Sister
sound.
Cynthia. What advice did you give the people, Primo Jesse, when it comes down to soul takers, reapers, hellhounds? You
I
know,
say keep your faith, show them no fear, and stay prayed up. When you see them, just tie by and rebuke them and send them away. Especially if you have no, if you're not doing anything wrong, and you're keeping yourself on the right path, they just send them away. That's my advice, cousin.
Yeah, they're going to try to affect your life. They're going to try to. One thing that they do is they do cause a lot of distractions. They try to keep you busy doing many things where people come out of nowhere. Hey, let's go do this, go do that. They send all this things to keep you preoccupied, so you won't be able to see what's happening to you spiritually, because that's how they attack. If you're not paying, for most people, they're not paying attention because they're too busy living life. They don't know that the Reapers, Hellhounds, the Dogmen, that they're there just waiting, and they're keeping you busy, so you won't be able to sense them or see them spiritually. Kind of like a form of bondage. But how can you tell that they are there? The atmosphere, something in the air. Some of the things people say, there's something in the air. I just can't figure it out, but there's something in the air. Something wrong with the aura. Something wrong with the picture, with the scenery. I just feel it. Your senses getting triggered. It's another warning. So many warnings that are happening to us because they're spiritual warnings that we need to pay more attention, especially in these times when there's so many distractions here on Earth. That's why you have to have your personal relationship with Jesus Christ. He's our guide. He's our teacher, and he watches over us, protects us. He's our avenger. He handles everything. Ya te puedo sueño, primo.
Oh man, yeah. I've been tired since I got back from driving people around, man. I didn't know that it was such a tiring job, man. My poor brother, man, he starts at 4 in the morning, man.
Why 4 in the morning, primo?
Because that's when people need rides to work and stuff, man. And
Talking about Chukies?
no, I'm talking about Gilbert.
That's what he does now?
Yeah, he lives. Welcome, Aloha 808. How you doing?
2009.
Yeah,
Aloha. Where did this happen, Aloha? Did it happen in Hawaii? I figured you're saying Aloha, he must be from Hawaii. I see a palm tree on his. Maybe he was in the military. I don't know. I know in Hawaii they have those, what do you call those statues?
totem poles.
Totem poles. Well, the Hawaii Samoans and all that, right? Hawaiian Samoans. They used to be warriors a long time ago there, where there was a lot of bloodshed on the islands and stuff, and where there's, from that there could be generational curses, you know. So I'm more sure he's seen there's a lot of activity like that over there. I've
He
heard of the
said it
dark
did.
shadow figures.
He said it didn't happen in Hawaii. It happened in
Okay,
Southern California.
it's not on the comic, but I've heard the stories of Hawaii where people have witnessed this shadow figures over there. Also, we're in California, Southern California, down by Modesto, California, San Diego. Yeah, I don't have to be in location. I just can send things just by if a picture is being shown to me. I can see things, sense things spiritually. Believe it or not, pictures do have attachments on them. If there's an attachment on a picture, when you'll be able to sense it spiritually. I used to run into locations like that in Germany, where I would pass by a building. they still had the marking on the wall on the brick from the bombs that would exploded or during the war. Certain buildings were burnt from side of the building. They still had the burns from the wartime, the markings on the walls. Mariota, California. Hey, it's open mic night, man. I'm surprised that nobody took the offer of open mic night tonight.
I don't know, man. It's 3 hours now, cousin. I'm about to call it a night, brother.
All right, Primo. Well, thank you, Primo, for joining. I'll
I
let you
want to
go.
bless. I want to bless everybody here that's still on the live. May the Lord protect you while you sleep, and may your day be filled with blessings when you wake up. Good night, everyone. Bye, cousin.
Good night, cousin.
I hope your life gets better, man. I know you're not ready to turn it down yet, man.
Yeah,
you
well,
get
I don't know. We'll see.
you got
All right, cousin.
recharged. Bye.
Hey, yeah, compared to yesterday I was gripping. I was fighting that sleep, Primo.
All
He
right,
was,
good night.
and he won. All right, cuz. See, one has ruby red eye made from black volcanic rock. Yeah, I've seen the shadow figures of shapeshifter skinwalkers. And we're talking about California in Fort Orange, California. I used to go training there twice a year in Fort Orange, California when I was in the military back in the 90s. I was running into the in the desert into this shadow figures, shapeshifter skinwalkers out there. Sometimes they'll come in numbers like in the I should say it would be a lot of coyotes, like 20, 30 strong, and the alpha with red eyes. The alpha with red eyes will be in, will have all the coyotes, I guess you could say, hypnotized that they'll be there ready to do whatever bidding that this uh, alpha or Shipster Skinwalker abilities he had, but I would always go into prayer against them and fight spiritually. But I will witness them out there in Fort Orange, California. That's right. Oh yeah. I was in Germany. I was in Kentucky in the woods. In Germany in the woods. I mean, that's what I would do. Train during the day in the woods and at nighttime in the woods. Train in all terrains, in the mud, in the rain, during hurricanes, during tornadoes, during floodings. And I've done all those works and I know what's out there, because I would run into it all the time. Believe it or not, I've never really physically seen that a Bigfoot. I mean, I got rocks thrown at me because I used to work in the talk, which was a center of operations, like in 92 for about a year. And we go and set up the PC up on top of the mountain ranges. So I remember when I almost something attacked was throwing some big rocks at me, hit me on the Kevlar and everything while I was changing the MoGas and the generator. Uh, it hit my Kevlar. They were landing around me while it was raining. You know, I filled it up, running and going back into the hut or into the talk, should I say? And I thought it was my platoon, the NCO in charge night shift. I thought he was him, but he wasn't. He was dry. So something definitely was out there throwing big old rocks at me. Was trying to hit me with the rocks, and they were throwing the rocks over a bush or a tree, like a bush from behind there. I just never want to go look to see what was behind the bush. Dark shadow, a lot of dark shadow figures out there. Uh, the succubus, incubuses, or what people call it, the jinn. Witnessed those out there in at the border of the Kuwaiti and Iraqi borders. I witnessed them out there. Good night, Sister Cynthia. God bless you. You have a beautiful, blessed evening. There's Brother Griffin. But in saying that, uh, yeah, I hear like in a lot of these locations where there's like a lot of violence and gangs and all kinds of things, that all these things that we're speaking about here, they're there. The soul takers, the reapers, the hellhounds, the Hatman, other things like the Llorona, but no, death is always around. I guess when you walk a path or in life in that manner, it's like just you just never know when it's your time is going to be. But when it is, and it's too late by then. Any more questions here for me, brothers and sisters? Any questions? Does anybody want to share something here with the audience? But I hope y'all had a. I'll show you the shirt one more time. Here we go. Let me put it up to this. It's because Jesse ain't here. There's a shirt of the Reaper. Okay. Yes, a demon can possess your neighbor and be used against you. Yes, your neighbor, a family member, an animal. It can enter just about anything to come against you spiritually. Is there anybody that's here? I'll give you the platform if you want to share a story. Or maybe you can say your 2 cents about all this. Brother Griffin, would you like to jump on and say something here on spiritual encrypted encounters? Dealing with soul takers, reapers, hellhounds, demons. Well, that's good, Brian Griffin. That what time we got here right now? 2:28. It's still kind of like an early night. Is there any questions that y'all want to ask me, brother and sisters, about any about this, or you can shoot any question you want, and I'll give you my answer to the questions that you're asking me. We got Rebel here again, waiting for a treat. That's fine. That's fine, brother. That's fine. The other thing I can tell you, brothers and sisters, is I've seen a lot of people over the years, which just part of life, right? Where people come and go out of life. We're born and we die, but I've seen people uh, come in and out of my life through the balance. Where the when I was younger, it would be older people that have come up against me spiritually within the balance, coming at me in a negative way. I'm still here. You know, they've crossed over already, which I've forgiven a lot of people. But one thing is I've always maintained my love foundation, but I've run into those people that made deals uh with his demons, people that choosing their destiny, their fate, but I've seen them come and go out of my life all throughout the years, you know. One thing that I would always tell those individuals, like, I'll try to focus on their love. I will tell them, if you love your children, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, please don't try to do nothing to me spiritually. Not that I'm afraid of you. Jesus Christ is with me. I just don't want nothing to happen to you because I know how the Heavenly Father the, takes care of my enemies. You know, that's how good of a heart I had that I will warn the enemy. And some of them stuck to what they do, and they're not here no more. It's part of life. So I've seen a lot of people throughout my years come and go out of this world because of the balance, because of what they chose. And then, they came at me in a negative way. And the Heavenly Father, like I said, he come back and they're not here no more. You know, I'm a person that has a good heart, has love in my heart, and I do care about life. Just that's why I keep people in prayer, and I tie bound and rebuke any unclean spirits at a daily basis to try to help out as many as people as possible spiritually. Yeah, I knew a lot of people like that, brother Brian Griffin. I have friends that were into all that, that were going through things, his parents being divorced and stuff like that. So they started going to the dark side, a lot of hard rock and roll back in the day. There was their safe haven, you know. But what's good about that is making a change in life. You weigh all the negatives to the positive, you'll see that the positive will outweigh the negative at all times. Yes, brother Brian. And he's saying that I don't want to stay too long because I want people to watch the replay and all that. Whoever wants to replay, I think people they'll see something going on for about 4 hours and they'll be like, "Man, that's 4 hours." So I'm trying to keep it between the minimum of 3 hours. But in saying that, I would like to say thank you to everybody here on the live feed, Brother Exuberance, the moderators doing an excellent job tonight. Uh, I want to say God bless y'all. Cousin Jesse that comes in here doing the lives with me. All the members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Thank y'all for your support. Uh, always showing up, and for those that are new here, hit the like button. Subscribe if you like, and if you ever want to share a story here of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, you're more than welcome to go live with me. No, tonight was open mic night. I can have an open mic night tomorrow also. If anybody wants to jump on, share something. But in saying that, I'm going to let y'all go so I can get some rest. And we'll do another show tomorrow. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Uh, love, light, and blessings from Brother Ipsias or Incias from Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Uh, thank y'all for the support and for tuning in nightly. You know, maybe I might do the show from Monday through Friday, but I always feel that the Heavenly Father has me doing this for a reason. There's a spiritual reason for all this. So I'm going to continue to do the lives like I've been doing them. But saying that, brothers and sisters, look out. Maybe I'm gonna do a day live tomorrow. I don't know. But in saying that, everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening and morning. And good night, everybody.